Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time again. It's time to beat the P0420 code once again. So if you've watched my other videos on P0420 and what you can do to beat the system, remember again, this is not a fix-it or a how-to video. This just shows a workaround that certainly works, at least in New York. Other states and regions will vary, so please bear that in mind. And if you notice, I have the laptop hooked up here. And you can see that indeed we have a P0420. See if I can get it so we don't have glare. So we're going to go down here to clear codes. And we're gone. Now we're going to go over to the monitoring systems, which is over here. And you can see all the monitoring there. We just have to check that off right there. They'll populate, and once again, not supported doesn't count. The incomplete ones are key. This is the 2002 Camry. The engine is not running currently, which is why you see the check engine light on. And now we're going to fire it up. Cold start. It's 58 degrees. And there we are. So we're good. Everything's going now, and this car, being a 2002, has to have 3 out of the 4 monitoring systems complete. So we're gonna get going on our trip here. When you go, make sure you drive under 55 miles per hour, under 50 preferred. Don't rev the engine too much. You know, 3,000 might be even too much. So try to keep the revs kind of low, and keep your AC off, which will help provide the best results. We're going to drive now until we get 3 out of the 4 monitoring systems up. And once we do that, we're ready for inspection before the check engine light comes on again. Okay, so we're just on our way here, and there were a couple things else I wanted to point out. Number one is also make sure that your gas tank has less than 3/4 of a tank. Otherwise, there is one monitoring system that may not complete. I believe it's the evaporative monitoring system test, but I'm not entirely positive on that. So do make sure that you keep the gas in the tank below 3/4 of a tank. Half is fine, quarter is fine, whatever, but make sure it's below 3/4. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the P0420 code, from what I understand, now this may not be factual information, so take this with a grain of salt. From what I understand, the P0420 code is a second chance code. That basically means that if the system detects a problem while the engine is running, it will ignore the first test but make a note that we did have a failure. If it happens again, then the check engine light comes on. So that essentially means that for each turn of the key, you basically have yet another shot at it. Again, this may not be completely factual information, but you can also shut the key at various intervals and then restart the engine. Just make sure you turn it out of ignition on, so the engine cuts out, and then restart, and that will reset if there was one already logged waiting to turn the check engine light on for the second when the second one hits. I'm not even partway into my trip, and already I have 3 of the monitoring systems up. This car has 4. You must have 3 running. The 4th one is going to be the catalyst monitoring system, and that's the one that when that completes, we'll throw the code. That one also takes the longest for it to complete, so time is on your side as far as that goes. But I could theoretically get it inspected now. Unfortunately, I still got, probably another 10 or 12 miles to go before I even get there. So hopefully everything's going to work out, but otherwise everything is reset in a reasonable amount of time. So if I need to, I could reset the light once again once I get where I'm going, and it won't be too long of a drive just to get everything up and running again. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We did it again. And yes, indeed, he's back. This is all live. We're still running. So, yep, it definitely came back. It actually gave me quite a good amount of time before coming back on this car. So that means that your time frame that you have to get the car inspected may be actually a little longer on this vehicle. And we got our new sticker up in there, and everything's cool. So there we go. I don't have to worry about this car again for another year, so that's awesome. We beat the P0420 code once again. What I would like for you people to do is review the other two videos, just so you know for sure exactly how this is done. I'm going to now just give you a quick synopsis one more time, letting you know exactly the steps that you need to take. Okay, so once again, to do this properly, you will need a scan tool that will not only reset the check engine light, or MIL, malfunction indicator lamp, but also one that will read the readiness monitors of your car. If you have a 2000 model year or older, you can have two monitoring systems incomplete and still be able to get inspected. On a 2001 or later vehicle, you will need to have only one system not ready in order to be able to be inspected. So using your scan tool, hook it up, reset your check engine light, which also will reset the monitoring codes. You then need to drive around for a period of time. During that time, keep the air conditioning off, keep the revs under 3,000 RPM, and keep the speed under 55 or even 50 miles an hour. I didn't exceed either of those on my way out there. And you'll have to check periodically the monitoring system to see if you have the correct number of systems up and running. Once you do, that again is your golden opportunity to get the car inspected. So run and get it inspected immediately at that point. Now, the car may run quite comfortably at idle while the guy's inspecting it and doing all his stuff for some time. And not throw the light or the code, but it is possible it can happen. So you kind of want to really get this done as quickly as possible to avoid any trouble. And that's really it. Once you do that, you've successfully beaten the P0420 code, only to have the check engine light come back later. But I did a little more research, and this car being a 2002 Toyota Camry, they had a TSB or Toyota service bulletin on it. And the car is well out of warranty at this point. It's got 122,000 and change miles, and they only warranty the emissions for 8 years, 80,000. So I'm well out of that, and nothing I can do about it except spend the money, which I ain't going to do. So there was a TSB on it, so if you do have a car that's well, it's going to have to be newer than 2002. But anyways, you may still be under warranty. This car did have a Toyota service bulletin, but of course the problem happened well after that, where they've actually redesigned the catalytic converter and reflashed the ECM, the computer in the car. And basically what that does is not only do they change the catalytic converter itself, but they also kind of turned down the volume on the problem and made the computer less sensitive to the actual trouble. So now that you know how to successfully do this, go out there and beat the EPA, beat the government at their own damn game, and not have to spend the money on stuff. So once you do that, what I want you to do is leave me a comment below and let me know how it went. And you can also put up a video response, provided YouTube is still allowing that, because I had heard that they're going to get rid of that kind soon. And that's pretty much it. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, because that lets me know that I'm doing a good job making these videos, and I can continue to give you videos of this caliber continuously, to continue to give you videos like that. I thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.